Welcome to Japlanning episode 7.
You have to think about that. 7.
7.
We should be coming home from Japan right now, and obviously we didn't get to go because of the pancetta.
Unfortunately, due to
COVID, basically. We held off until about February, the start of February, and then we're like, right, if we're not seeing any movement or anything like that by that time, then we're just going to cancel the trip completely. Because there's no point in rescheduling it, because that was the 3rd time we had rescheduled, right?
we've kind of given up at this point. We'll wait a bit and then
We know what we're doing for our next trip. So our experience, like getting our money back and stuff like that, like the hotels, we had no issues just cancelling them because we hadn't paid anything for them. Glasgow airport, I paid through PayPal, so they like refunded me, I think like a week after I requested it. Air France tried to shortchange us a little bit, but eventually they got it sorted. So originally they were only going to refund us for our 2 flights and 3 pieces of baggage when we actually paid for 4. The way they refunded us was really weird. Like we got the 3 bags back first, then a flight, then another bag, and then another flight. It was like maybe like 3 weeks.
Over the course of about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it was really strange.
Spread out.
I could understand like maybe the luggage like getting
Being
refunded
separated,
on a different date because we bought it at a different date, but the flights, I don't know. We didn't really have any issues having to fight anyone or anything to get our money back.
The reason for that was though because we had booked our flights between a set period of time that was stated on the website.
Yeah.
And it was if your original flight was cancelled, then you could apply for full refunds. If you hadn't obviously booked before that period and it was after that, then yeah, it would have been a voucher that you would have had to get and you would have had to spend within a set period of time. If you didn't use it, then I think after a year you could get fully refunded.
Yeah.
As we've said, we are looking at making plans for our next trip and creating an itinerary and
yeah, it's just we'll book it whenever
stuff like that, but
things start to open back up.
It won't be.
It's not an immediate thing, and we will go to Japan one day and we'll probably use like our semi-original plans that we've done in these videos anyway.
We'll always have like
we always
what
have
we
the
wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of that will change for our first trip anyway.
No, unless we were going for like a longer or shorter period of time, then we'd probably need to make some changes. But we know what we want to do, so we will get there eventually.
Yeah.
Was it the day we were due to leave, or the day before we were due to leave? Japan announced another state of emergency, so there's just like literally no way. Like our flights in April went ahead to go out to Japan.
We would have been able to get to the country, but we wouldn't have been able to get in the country.
Yeah, so that's a problem for a lot of places. Like the UK government's just announced a green lights, a traffic light system. Basically, you can go to like certain countries that are considered green, like they're safe and stuff like that, but you can't get into them. So how can you say that's on a safe country list? I think it's more for like people travelling for business and maybe for like residents and stuff like that maybe want to go home or come back here and stuff like that. It's just a bit shit, really.
Yeah.
I think we were probably very, very lucky with the circumstances that we fell into, that we did get everything back, you know what I mean?
From this experience, we have learnt to pay on arrival or cancellation rates if you can, because in the circumstance, if we hadn't have done that, then it would have been a fight to get refunds.
And I think they should keep it like that, like the flexible cancellations. I know like it always was there, but it was always, for flights anyway, very, very expensive to book a flexi rate if you're considering like just comparing it to bog standard economy on a non-flex ticket. I don't think we would book with Air France again, to be really honest with you. If we were going to Japan, we'd probably just book directly with KLM.
KLM, yeah.
Just to cut out that whole middleman, because it just...
I think we did have, like, I think the only real issue that we did have was when we rebooked the flight, the person that didn't add on your flight, and then
they didn't
kind of
like
messed it
ads
up.
and-
We eventually did get it sorted, but it was just the whole principle of having to contact them multiple times to get it sorted. We shouldn't have had to go through that in the first place.
And the fact that we couldn't like change anything on the website, like we had to,
Contact
we literally
them.
had to phone them to change anything, which I think in today's day and age, like I understand it's with like a partner airline and blah blah blah, but surely if someone on the phone can do it, you can set your system up to do it as well. I've kept all the details for like the flight prices, so I'll maybe put them on like a Google sheet so that anyone that's interested can access it. Obviously, like you'll see like when the pandemic hits, it's just like constantly and then it starts to smooth out.
That's the bad news about Japan, that this would have been our return date and we would have been probably arriving back.
Yeah, we would have landed by now.
Japan will be rescheduled
Replanned.
for...
Replan some point in the future. I don't know if it'll be like our next trip or like our next trip. It just depends how we feel, I suppose, where we want to go at that point in time, because we have a lot of places that we want to visit, let's be really honest.
Yeah, that's the latest on Japlanning.
Japlanning. So sad. Learned all that Japanese for nothing.
Hundreds of Japanese.
Loads of Japanese. Sayonara.
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 Sayonara. Hey.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to Japlanning. Your face is tripping.
Can I have a drink?
Oh, for God's sake.
I must try. And what's 7 in Japanese?
I don't know. Ichi, san, shi, go, roku. 7.
7.
Nana. Yes.